I'm going to show you how I make a bechamel sauce. Really simple to do. Now once you've made the bechamel sauce, you can add some cheese in there and make it a nice cheesy sauce. I added parmesan to mine. And again, once you let it cool down, you can add some eggs in there and it becomes a really nice white sauce that goes on the top of lasagnas, or in my case, moussaka. So we're going to make the bechamel sauce. I'm just going to pop in a bit of butter there. Now you probably want to do this on a sort of medium heat. Once this is frothing, which it is now, and melted, then we're going to add some plain flour in there. Now in terms of weight, you actually use the same weight of butter as you do flour, so equal amounts. Now in my case, I'm using 35 grams of each. Now what we'll do is add the flour. Just add, I'd say add it in 2 parts. Give it a stir, and what we're trying to do is to get this to become a paste, but we don't want to, add it too quick because you want to sort of get it nicely mixed up. That's it. I'm going to add the other bit now. Give that a stir, and this is really creating like the roux they call it. Now you don't want to do it too long, because otherwise you start to get like a browned sort of roux, which is more used on like gravy. We're actually looking for a white sort of bechamel sauce here, so we just do that so that the flour gets a little bit cooked and also it's absorbing the butter. And after that we're going to add in some milk. Now I'm going to use about half a pint of cold milk, and I'm going to add it in slowly because what we don't want to do is to get it all lumpy. So really I've only been cooking that for about 2 minutes, and now I'm going to add some milk. Just add a little bit at a time, mix it around, and when that little bit's all been absorbed, add a little bit more, and we'll keep doing that. I think the main thing is you want to just keep on stirring, and then every time it's been absorbed, add a little bit more, a little bit at a time. A little bit extra there. So just keep adding milk, because we are looking for a sort of liquid. We don't want sort of lumps, so just keep stirring it until you get the liquid, and then when you've got the right amount in there, you bring it to the boil, and then we just put it on a simmer. So I'm just going to add a little bit more milk, but also I'm going to change from a wooden spoon. I'm going to use my whisk, because that's really ideal for getting rid of the lumps. So we're just going to bring this to the boil. Once it's on a boil, as I say, you turn it down to a simmer, but you've got to keep on stirring just to get all those lumps out. And don't feel you can't add a little bit more milk if you want. If it's not runny enough, just add a little bit more. Even at the end, when you've made this bechamel sauce, you can always add a little bit more milk. I think we're there on the milk now. And the other thing is, when you're doing it, if it's getting too hot, you can always lift up the actual pan, because it takes it straight away from the heat. So I think this is just about going to come up to boiling. Keep on stirring just to get all those lumps out. That's it, we're just about boiling now, so I'm going to turn that down, and then we just put it on a simmer. Been whisking and stirring fairly constantly to try and get all those lumps out, and I think we're just about there. That's the sort of consistency I've got, and it's pretty much lump free. So what I'm now going to do is just turn it off the heat a minute, turn the heat off, and we're going to add some other nice little ingredients in there. I'll just get that in view. Now you've got to season your bechamel sauce, so I'm going to put a little bit of salt in there, and pepper. Then I'm going to use some fresh nutmeg.
I mean, that's like a little piece there, and you just sort of grace it away. I mean, if you haven't got that, obviously you can buy it as sort of pre-ground, but I find the fresh nutmegs a much nicer flavour, a little bit more intense. A little bit of that.
So we finished making the bechamel sauce. Now there's two things you can do at this stage. The first one is you can give it a quick stir and that's ready to use. Alternatively, if you want to make it into a really nice cheesy sauce, just add a bit of cheese. I mean, I'm going to use a bit of Parmesan, but you can use any cheese you like.
I'm going to put it back on the heat just for a minute or so, just to mix and get all those flavours together. So again, just mix those up. And as I say, even at this stage, if you're finding the sauce is a little bit thick, we can just, if you want, just add a little bit more milk in there. It just sort of, you know, makes it a little bit more runny. Depends how you like it. That's pretty much done now.
Now we've made the bechamel sauce, turned it into a cheesy sauce. If you want to use it as a white sort of sauce on top of lasagnas or moussakas in my case, then all you do is let it cool down, and then just before you pour it on, you add in a couple of eggs.
So we just stir these, not for very long. Once they're all mixed in, you can literally just pour it over. Like so. Try and spread it evenly all round the edges. Now I'm just going to use my wooden spoon, and I'm going to spread that right around the edges.
Now I've actually poured my white sauce onto a moussaka recipe that I've got on YouTube. So if you want to see how to make a moussaka using this white sauce, then please have a look at my other videos. I've also got a really nice lasagna on there as well. Thanks for watching.